India in the women's event had to settle for silver. Iran taking gold. Of course, they clinched gold by beating South Korea in the men's draw in Iran. So it'll be interesting to see how it pans out here in Hangzhou 2022.
Yeah, and I think when you look at what's happened since then as well, India have a really good lineup here. Not one player from 2018 is part of this squad. And that tells you that it was a proper shake-up. We've had goals every time since 1990. Similar for the women as well. Women's Kabaddi introduced at the Asian Games since 2010. We had a gold in 10, gold in 2014, and a silver in 2018. And 4 members of the squad remain for the women. Our Indian coaches, Edachari Bhaskaran, he's won titles when it comes to the league in India. And alongside him, Sanjeev Balyan, a legend in his own right. And for Japan, Nita Terukazu, the coach. First raid underway. It is Japan to raid first, which means India will raid first in the second half, and we'll explain why that is crucial. Sunil Kumar, the vice captain of India. It's one of his first outings so far, and he starts with a brilliant block.
That was a nothing raid really from Itsuki. And that's the end of that. Now, anyway, India with the first raid, and they will get another.
Akash Shinde and Aslam Inamdar. And there you go, first points on the board for Japan. And it comes through Hiroto Chiba. Nice moment for them.
So what really wondered, it was just a half-hearted single leg hold attempted by Nitish Kumar on that the ankle hold that he went for, and that was that.
Yeah, you'll see Nitesh do that. You'll see him going for individual glory as well. And I guess for India, this is an opportunity to go out and express themselves, enjoy themselves. Just coming to the raiding trio, no Arjun Deswal in the starting 7, no Pawan Sarawat, and no Naveen Kumar. They got the youngsters in the mix, and that's nice to see. Sachin Tawar, Akash Shinde, he's coming to this squad. This man here, the big man, in place of Mohit Goyat. To me, that was the only slight disappointment. Not that Akash doesn't deserve it, but I thought Mohit Goyat should have stayed in the Asian Games squad because he certainly deserved it. And he's got rid of a very popular man in India. He's got Shimokawa. Now, Raman, for you, Shimo, he's been a part of the league in India for a long time.
And I've heard stories about how he responds to a lot of messages and tweets in Hindi. He's pretty much picked up the language as well.
Yeah,
He's Haryanvi.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, from Aslam Inamdar. I'm not sure what Gario Kono, the captain, is doing there, number 1. Almost did everything in his might to try and get tagged. And then Aslam heads back with a point.
Interesting part of conversations. We'll come to that in a moment. Currently, the women's semi-final is on in hockey. India taking on China. You can catch Hindi commentary on Sony Sports 10.3. And of course, there is English coverage available on Sony Sports 10.4 and Sony Sports 10.5. You asked why Nitish Kumar did what he did previously. Here's your answer. Does it second time around? He says, Raman, you asked me why. I gave you a proper ankle hold this time. Yeah, he got a proper ankle hold and got it deep in the court, which is why he was able to effect that point. And meanwhile, Japan running the risk here of being all out pretty quickly within the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, this is stunning stuff. Within the first 3.5 minutes almost. Here comes the captain, Gario Kono.
I give them the benefit of doubt for another minute and a half.
You're a generous man, Raman. You're a generous man. I don't think they'll be that generous with this tackle coming in. Now, the bonus is allowed because they don't mind the freebie, but not sure what he's doing here because he's down to the last 8 seconds. And if you waste time here, you're gone. There you go. See you later. Nitin Rawal, Nitish Kumar. That is a sandwich tackle.
And very kindly done to the Japanese captain. No real heavy takedowns there. Gario Kono's told, okay, there you go. Job done. Please Can we escort you off the court?
And with it, the first all out inside the first 4 minutes for the men in blue for Team India. This should be one of the easier outings for India. Unfortunately, as I said earlier, Japanese Kabaddi is slid downwards, while the likes of Chinese Taipei, Kenya, Poland, many of those countries are rising. Sad to see Japan drop off the face a little bit. Shimokawa, partly one of those guys who's been around long enough, but this is going to be a proper drubbing.
It's interesting you raised that point earlier, Sohail, about none of the players from that team 2018 that failed to get that elusive 8th gold for India in Kabaddi, surviving the cull coming into this edition of the Asian Games. But there is a survivor from the 2014 edition, and that's a seasoned campaigner, Surjit, the 33-year-old. He's on the subs bench. He was a part of that team that won gold back in 2014 at the Asian Games at Incheon.
Yeah, and Surjit actually is one of those funny ones because India at the moment as well, we're struggling for right covers and left covers. Sunil Kumar at the moment is a tremendous right cover. Surjit as well. I think Surinder Singh, he is the other one that again instantly stands out. The captain of the Mumbai franchise in the Kabaddi League. But apart from them, you look around and there's not that much depth in the cover region. And that's why Surjit again was preferred. Meanwhile, a bonus +1 and almost like a sheepish smile for Sachin Tawar. It was that easy.
He said, what's the big deal? There you go. A little hop, skip and jump and I get across the midline. I'm all done.
And just on that point that you brought up, Raman, I actually think it's the right move for India because you've got to go form over reputation. And actually, we're seeing that in the league as well. Young players coming through and the older players, the more famed ones, the likes of Rahul Chaudhary and Deepak Hooda and the rest, they're actually being replaced by young guns who are doing a great job. And I like that. I'm someone that, as I'm trying to build a squad around you, Mumbai as well, trying to build a squad around youngsters, look to the future. You might call it Moneyball, you might call it what you like, but it's youngsters that deserve an opportunity and keep the older ones that are good enough, like Surjit.
The raid, meanwhile, for Japan haven't had much to show for all their efforts. Just 3 points in the first 6 odd minutes of this first half. Has he got a touch? Yes, he has. Quick point taken on that raid. By Itsui Manita. And again, you talk about the youngsters, Sohail, and they've been brought into getting the opportunities here. Just a quick thought on Pardeep Narwal and your thoughts on what's happened there.
Yeah, I think Pardeep is a curious case. When he wants to switch on, he's phenomenal to watch. But again, it's about the fitness levels through the year as well. And I think that's something a lot of the players struggle with because you've got 2.5 months of the league as we see the captain captured yet again for Japan. And you've got the league that goes on for 2.5 months, Raman. But beyond that, there wasn't much Kabaddi played and there isn't much Kabaddi played by the seniors. So they don't stay within sort of the fitness bounds, whereas the youngsters go out and play the Yuva Kabaddi series that happens through the rest of the 10 months. And suddenly you've got the opportunity to stay match ready, match fit like this man, Akash Shinde. What a raid, a 2-point raid. One man just dumped off court instantly. That is Yutan Kawate. Not sure why, he just ran away. And after that, the second scalp, Hiroto Chiba.
That was suicidal from Hiroto Chiba. And look at that. Japan now running the risk of being all out again for the second time within 7.5 minutes of the first half.
If we go by this concept of 1 every 4 minutes, we're going to get 5 all out in the first half. There it is, dump tackle, and the second all out of the first half. Of the first 8 minutes, we should say.
I'm just wondering what's the record for maximum points gotten in the first half. I'm just trying to look back. Let me get the stato on this.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough job. We're putting our statmen through some solid work. Yeah, good evasion there. And that is a good tackle. Very, very positive. On the right corner, Ayuma Kurashima. And then from the left cover region, the tackle coming in as well. That is the first real point of conviction from that defense. See you later. Sorry, Shimo, not going anywhere.
As the favor returned and very quickly, but coming back to the tackle that Japan did just a little while ago, but come to that in a moment. Remember, there's the men's hockey final tomorrow as well. India versus Japan. Japan, remember, gold medalist in 2018, but India had played Japan and beaten Japan 4-2 during the group stages of their campaign in this edition.
Yeah, also, you go back to Chennai at the Champions Trophy, and India 1-1 versus Japan there. Then a 5-0 drubbing. So I think India, the firm favourites going in versus Japan. Hopefully, a gold and qualification to the Olympics for our Indian hockey team.
Yes, absolutely. That's what we're hoping for. Going back to that match against Japan that they played in the group stages, you felt that they were in full control of that match and they just eased off towards the final 5 minutes of that match. 55 belonged to India.
Yeah.
Those last 5 minutes is when Japan pulled back a couple of goals when India took the foot off the accelerator.
Yeah, and I don't think we're going to see that here. I think India will keep their foot on the gas with the Kabaddi. No dangers whatsoever. Nice to see Akash Shinde in India colours. And that's the beauty of the Asian Games, Raman. These guys don't get an opportunity to play for India too often. You had the World Cup back in 2016. You had the Kabaddi Masters in 2018.